Hey, you guys, welcome to Mama Tea with Facts and Tea. Today is September 5th. I'm here to give you the facts that's going on in the news and then a little bit of tea as well. I hope you guys been enjoying my podcast. I've been enjoying this, give you guys the information and enjoying the comments, the likes, the support. So thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you. And as we always start, I am drinking tea today. Okay. Ooh, I'm sorry, you guys. I'm drinking hibiscus tea. Again, if you guys have any suggestions on what teas I should drink, just put them in the comments and then I'll try them out and then let you know if I like them or not. All right, so let's get started, you guys. There's a lot going on in the news, you guys. A lot. I'm gonna take a sip of my tea before I get started. Okay, so first things first, like we always have to talk about, our current president, Trump. So like I told you guys last week that he was getting ready to send National Guards to Chicago. So he's also looking to send guards into New Orleans. Their governor is basically asking Trump to bring the National Guard in because they believe that they have a lot of crime and basically trying to kiss Trump's butt, basically, in regards to asking for a National Guard just to prove that the National Guard is needed to be on the civilian streets of the United States, which I don't believe they need to. We already have police, and that's just over policing people, really. So I don't think that they need the National Guard. The Chicago governor, the Chicago mayor has stated that if the National Guard does come, they have passed a law where they want the ICE agents to basically not have any mask and be able to identify themselves to the citizens, because there are a lot of ICE agents that's around here with their masks covered. They're not identifying themselves. And then you also have people that are basically impostoring as if they are ICE agents, and they are picking up women and raping them. So they want to make sure that their citizens are taken care of and not being taken advantage of. And even if they do get picked up, that they know that they're actually being picked up by an ICE agent and not an imposter. And then, like I told you guys last week, Speaker Mike Johnson, he's still in the hot seat because he's pushing to have National Guards in all the states that are blue states, and he doesn't want the news to really focus on his city that does need assistance in regards to the crime in their cities. So you're the news promoting National Guard, but you have a high rate of crime in your own city, and you're trying to deflect, as most Republicans do. They just deflect. They never want to really take account on what their constituents needs in their states and in their cities. So Jeffrey Epstein, even though this man is dead and gone, he is causing so much trouble in the news. And the thing is that the government doesn't want to release the files because everyone knows that a lot of Republicans are in these files, including our current president, who was besties with Jeffrey Epstein's, and now he's trying to make it seem like he wasn't, and that they had basically parted ways, which they probably had before he passed away. Who knows? Can't really tell if they did or if they didn't, because Trump lies all the time. Only thing that he tells us the truth is his name. Other than that, he's always lying. So by him stating that he wants the files to be released, but then they also have a agent basically that's over the files, and he went on an online date with an undercover reporter, and was basically telling this lady that they're going through the Epstein files and they're taking out all the Republicans' names out of the files and still just leaving the Democrats. So once they release the files, that they will basically block out that part of the files, and it will only just look like the Democrats were, whoever was a Democrat that went to those private islands or parties or whatever Epstein was doing at the time, that it will only be released Democrats. But on the other hand, you had the survivors, because even though Epstein has died, he has a lot of survivors that are coming out to tell their stories. And they're basically stating, like, if they don't release the files, that they're just going to start releasing names, because they know who they were in contact with. They know who they were assaulted by. They know who were the multi-millionaires and billionaires that were showing up to this private island, basically doing sex trafficking. And they're stating that they want the files to be released, but if they don't, they're going to go ahead and start releasing names themselves and just start giving their stories. They have been quiet long enough, and they're really trying to work with the government, in that this should have been resolved years ago. It shouldn't have to wait to 2025. And some of these stories happened in the 1990s. Like, this is just ridiculous. They should have had this situation resolved. Jeffrey Epstein shouldn't even have been able to continue doing what he was doing for decades. But when you have people that's in high power, and you have survivors that are not believed or not taken serious, or when Jeffrey Epstein was just getting basically like a slap on the hand, like it wasn't, the court system wasn't taking it seriously in regards to what he was doing to these minors. And now it's starting to come out. And then you have Maxwell, where they moved her out of her original place in jail, and they put her in the federal jail, where she has better amenities being in jail. And the survivors are upset about that, because they feel like she should have stayed where she was, because she was part of it as well. She was his right hand woman, because she's a woman. I'm not going to say man. She was right hand woman. And she groomed a lot of these women in regards to them being sexually assaulted. And then you have Republicans that are coming out saying that they want the files to be released, like Thompson Macy and Marjorie Taylor Greene. I would never think that I'd be agreeing with something with Marjorie Taylor Greene, because if you follow her, she's crazy. She says some off the wall things that are not true. I'm not going to repeat on my podcast, but she agrees that these files need to be released and the truth need to be released. And so we have Republicans that are also supporting the Democrats. It's one thing that they can agree on, to have these files released. And then you have the president that's telling everybody that this is a hoax, it's a Democrat hoax, and they're just trying to deflect about what's going on in the government. Like I said, this man lies all the time. The only thing he doesn't lie about is his name. We have pictures, we have videos, and this man is telling people it's a hoax. But you got people that are following him, his MAGA followers, that will believe him into anything, even if the proof is right in front of their face. Okay, then you have here. Okay, so the leadership of the Southern Baptist Convention is overwhelmingly white male. And they're basically saying they want to bring a conservative movement, which is called Make Baptism Great Again. Now, what does that sound like to you guys? Make America Great Again, right? So you have a lot of Texas pastors who are basically saying that they're trying to convert Christianity baptism to basically be white. So they're not really having any other race ministers, pastors, bishops involved in this convention. They're stating that they don't want women pastors to be part of this convention. They're basically getting rid of CRT. You know what that means. CRT is most commonly refers to critical race theory, an academic framework that examines how race and racism have shaped the U.S. law and institutions, insisting that racism is a systemic issue and not just an individual bias. So they're basically trying to whitewash Christianity. They believe that if you are a Democrat, that you're not going to heaven. They're also they are part of the Christian nationalism, which is the belief that the United States was founded as a Christian nation. It should remain so, and with government laws reflecting Christian values and identity. It is it is a political ideology that blurs the lines between Christian and American identity. And the one person that's really behind this is William Wolf. He is he is really pushing to have this whiteness. He doesn't care about any minorities. He's saying that he needs to go back. It needs to go back to the founding fathers. Um, it's upsetting to think that you have people that are taking the words of the Bible and distorting what the Bible means, and is saying that the Christianity has to deal with whiteness, which it doesn't. And you have a lot of bishops and pastors that are of other nationalities that are upset about this situation because it just seems like we're not moving forward. It's like we're moving backward. And I don't. If you really want to get a hand on what's really going on in the world, I suggest you read Roland Martin's book. It's called basically "The America is Afraid of Whiteness." Let me just bring it up because I don't want to misquote it. But it's sad that we live in a world and you have people that are really focused on the color of your skin, um, other than like the character of yourself. And the Bible and Jesus is about love and caring and forgiving and helping others. And everything about this government, everything about the people that support Trump is the opposite. And even Trump even said that he's not a Christian, he's not a saint, but these people are basically believing in him as if he is, and he isn't. So Roland Martin book is White Fear. It's called White Fear. I'm trying to get it bigger. How the browning of America is making white folks lose their minds. And I read the book, and it's basically white people are upset about what's going on in America right now because minorities are taking over. We are about to be the majority, okay? And they're going to be basically almost extinct in regards to being in the United States because we are a melting pot. And instead of them trying to work with us, they are trying to go back in history when we were segregated, when everybody was separated by their race. And so it's just upsetting to continually, as especially as a Black woman, and going through history and learning history and living through the times that we are, when you feel like, okay, our people are making progress, then you have people like William Wolf that is basically a white nationalist who is basically bringing hate towards other minorities. It does not make America a safe place for anyone. It's not even a safe place. I say it's a safe place for a white men. It's not a safe place even for white women, because they're trying to take over the women's rights. They're trying to take over the rights of um, the rights you have over your body. They're trying to take over if you even can work. They're just trying to really. It's really getting down to, if you haven't watched Handmaid's Tales, it's getting slowly and slowly getting closer to that, and which is it's frightening, because you watch that, no one wants to live in a government that dictates who you fall in love with, where you can live. Um, just really just trying to take over your your rights that you have, your freedom. And as being a black woman, we are just now getting our freedom that we think that we have, because there are a lot of things that they're rolling back slowly but surely, that they're just trying to take away our rights. But we're not going to be silent about it. We're going to keep fighting and keep suing the government, keep suing Trump, and keep winning in the courts. And we just have to keep fighting, and not basically lay to the side and let them continue to talk crazy and do what they want to do, by us giving you guys the information, by you being informed. That is helping you and your family. So the more that you watch my podcast, the more that you watch real news in regards to however you get it, that's how you can move forward, to make sure that you're informed, to make sure that you know what's going on in your government and your churches now. It's not just about what's going on in the government. You have to know what's going on in your churches now, because you have to make sure if your bishops or your pastors or your ministers or whoever has a title and that is leading you in a relationship with, whatever you follow. I'm not trying to preach that you need to follow the guy that I believe in, but whatever you follow, that whoever is over you, that you are for sure that they are leading you in the right way, because we have a lot of Christian nationalism, which wants to make Christianity whiteness. They don't care about the the progress that America has made. They don't care about that. They care about continuing to have the power, and continuing to make their children believe that they are the better race than any race on earth. Which in my opinion, everybody is equal. We all live on the same earth. We all breathe the same air. Everybody is equal. But for some reason, these people believe that since their ancestors came to America, that they are the better race than anybody. And it's not so. So you have MAGA white evangelists and a lot of these mega churches that, that say that they love the Lord, they love Jesus, but at the same time, and behind the scenes, they're worshiping Trump and they are MAGA. So all I gotta say is keep your eyes open, keep your ears open, and continue to be on the watch of what's going on, because it's a lot of racism going on. And just make sure that you keep your head on a swivel, because it's not getting. We haven't even had a year of this man being as a president, and everyone knows that he works closely with Christian nationalism. He works closely. He has people that funded his campaign, that is, part of the Ku Klux Klan. We the Proud Brothers, Proud Boys. So just like, everybody just be aware of what's going on. It's just sad to see that this is going on in the church, the place that you're supposed to be able to go and get the fellowship that you need to move on in a positive way. But then they still breaking racism into Christianity, which is crazy to me. All right, moving on, y'all. Moving on. So Congresswoman Yvette Clarke calls out Representative Corey Mills over allegations of harassment. So basically, Corey Mills, um, his girlfriend at the time, because listening to the story, it just sounds crazy. So his girlfriend at the time called the police because he was abusing her. Basically, they got into an argument, and he started putting his hands on her, and she showed bruises, and the police arrested him, and they were going to give him charges, right? But since he's such a MAGA supporter, Trump told the U.S. attorney to basically tell the DC um, police officers not to press charges. So they said they're not going to press charges. Mind you, this man was up here causing harassment to another woman that's his girlfriend, and he got a whole wife. Just messy. So Congresswoman Yvette Clarke, she's calling for him to have to be censored, to censor him, to basically he'll have like a penalty in the House of Representatives. It's just crazy for you to have this administration saying that you can basically assault someone, abuse them, and they're basically saying, "Oh, you can't go to jail for that. We're going to override that because you're part of us." They keep saying the Republicans are all about the law. They're not. They're all about breaking the law and finding ways on how to break the law. Okay? That's what they're about. Then we have our health department, y'all, is not it right now. It's not it right now. So RFK Jr. was grilled by the Democrats and Republicans on the U.S. vaccine policies. So he was being grilled by the Congress today for about 3 hours, and he really didn't have any answers for them. For him to be over this department for this long, and he can answer any questions. They were asking him, why did he fire the chief of CDC that he hired and had her come before Congress to get approved, and then he fired her. So basically, she said that she was fired because she wouldn't agree with him. Let me exactly read what she said. She said she refused to agree with his troubling directives to rubber stamp yet unwritten recommendations of a panel. So basically, he didn't really have any medical recommendations on why he doesn't want vaccines. Mind you, since he has become over the health department in Texas, we haven't had kids die from measles in decades. And this man is telling people they don't have to get vaccines for measles. So now their kids are dying because they're not vaccinated. Which is if I was a parent, I'll be upset because we look to the government to tell us what vaccines that you need. You're supposed to have certain vaccines to even be required to go to public school. And for him to say, "Oh, we don't need vaccines, we don't believe in vaccines," and then he took away people being able to get the COVID shot. I feel like people should have the right, like you have the right if you want to get the flu shot or not. It's the same thing. COVID is here. The flu is here. It's not going anywhere. So I feel like people should have the option. And now the only people that have the option to even get the COVID shot is if you're elderly or if you're young and you have health elements. So, and then if you want to get the COVID shot, you're probably going to have to pay for it out of pocket instead of it being covered underneath your insurance. So it's just ridiculous. And, the three Republicans that did agree for him to even be over the health department is now rethinking it because they're just like, this doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. He doesn't have a plan on how this is supposed to work. If you are stating that you don't want to have vaccines, what is the other step in regards to where did you get the scientific proof that the kids don't need vaccines, that Americans don't need vaccines? He doesn't have those answers. And it was very upsetting to a lot of the Democrats that was, grilling him today, because you have kids that are dying. Our future is dying because he doesn't want them to be vaccinated. Mind you, all his kids are vaccinated. He's vaccinated. Make it make sense, because it doesn't. And I'm tired of hearing his voice. I don't even know why they even have him even up there, because you can't barely understand what he's even saying. Then he's getting all upset and red and everything because he don't know what he's talking about. You should never pick the position in the first place. You just took the position because you buddy with Donald Trump, because you gave him an endorsement for him to run for president. And so he gave you a position that you should not even have. Just dumb. Just dumb. This administration is dumb. Dumb. The privilege that they just have is just dumb. You have a position that affects the whole United States, and you are not even taking it serious. You just up there just collecting the check. And then you're not even hiring the correct people to make sure that we are continuing to even have the right things that we need to have to look out for the CDC. Have all these recalls on food. It's just ridiculous. Food is already expensive, and then you're going to have a recall on it as well. Okay, moving on. So you have there was a tragic streetcar crash in Portugal yesterday. It was sad that one of the streetcars, if you ever been to San Francisco, they have those cars that it looks like a little trolley, and it's like on the street, and that you just hang on or sit inside, and it's really cool to ride, to do tour stuff. So they have the same thing in Portugal. And one of the cars snapped not snapped, it got off, it derailed, and it crashed into another streetcar. And the one that crashed into it basically killed 16 people, and there was one American among those 16 people that passed away. So they're still going through the crash site in regards to trying to figure out what happened, how did it derail. So just continue to put those families in your prayers, because it was a lot of kids and families just on vacation, just like, oh, let's go on a streetcar tour, and not even thinking that that it would crash. And you have one family, the mom and son was saved, but then the dad passed away. So it's just sad. Then we have to also remember this is the time of wildfires in California and basically the West Coast. So we have to be aware of the brush and watering and things like that. So there's a mass wildfire outside of Yosemite that is burning out of control, and it basically burnt down a small town that they had near Yosemite called Chinese Camp, and it was burnt down. And a lot of families, they basically just had this a few seconds just to leave, and then they had to come back to their homes, and most of their homes were burned down to the ground. And then Canada and basically the upper part of the West Coast is under smoke alert for the quality of air. So they're making sure that if the kids are at school, that they're inside, because the quality of air is very bad, and they don't want people to be outside and making their lungs worse. So hopefully they can get that under control. So at a 7-Eleven, a customer noticed a man and a woman standing next to each other, and a woman gave them the domestic violence signal. Um, for her to get help. And the person, well, I'll say the other person in the store was paying attention and was like, hey, came up to them like, hey, do you need help? And then at first she was like, no, I'm fine, And then she gave the sign, and so then they called the police. So when the police showed up, the guy that was with her basically tried to run off. But come to find out, it was a domestic violence situation. And then the guy did have a warrant, and he also had a taser on him. So it's a good thing that, you just want to be aware when you're out and about. And just, that was a good thing that there was a good Samaritan that has helped another person and knew the sign, in regards to helping somebody that has that's in a domestic violence situation. Then there was an 8-year-old that was attacked by a shark, you guys. And the thing that saved him was there was a somebody on the beach. Once he came out the water, his parents brought him out the water from being bitten. They did a tourniquet, which helped stop the bleeding from his legs. And the doctor said that was great that they knew how to do that, because that saved him, even though he lost a lot of blood, but that just helped him from not losing so much blood to where he would possibly could have died. So the good thing that we have good Samaritans out here, helping other people. Little good news, a lot of crazy things goes on in the world, but still good people out there. And then you have Joe Biden went under surgery for skin cancer. And so he's walking around with he has a bandage on his head. So everybody was like worried about what's going on. And then they're also saying that he has a prostate cancer, which is very aggressive, but he's still going through treatment. So just hopefully that he makes it through these cancer treatments, because it takes a lot from your body, and he is up in age as well. So we're going to continue to keep praying for President Biden in regards to his cancer treatments and his recovery. And then you guys, nobody still hasn't hit the Powerball, y'all. I need to go get me a ticket. Okay. No, what would y'all do if y'all win $1 billion? So it's up to $1.7 billion, and they're gonna be drawing the tickets tomorrow. So hopefully you got yourself a ticket. I need to go get me a couple tickets. So hopefully I win. If I win, I'll still be on here talking to y'all. But yeah. So make sure y'all get y'all tickets. So they doing another draw on Saturday to see if somebody wins, y'all. And then there is also there has been 4 months straight of job losses. So since Trump has been in office, the loss of jobs really has affected Black women and Black men. It really affected Black women a lot. 300,000 Black women have lost their jobs since this man has been in office, and it's in counting. I know a couple of people that have lost their jobs or been forced to go into early retirement in regards to this, companies losing funding, federal jobs being cut. It's just, this man sits up here and says everything is good, that jobs are being created, and it's not. The jobs that are being created are saying that it's not full-time jobs. They're just part-time jobs. And everybody knows you cannot survive off of a part-time job. Not in this economy, not in this day and time. So hopefully it gets better. I don't know. I really can't tell y'all. The way that this man is doing things, I don't know. Like, this off the cuff, this man, he does not like Biden so much that he stopped the bill that Biden had, where basically the airlines, if your flight was delayed or if they lost your luggage, they would have to compensate you. This man didn't took that back. So I don't know. You guys. He doesn't like Biden, and he just keep taking stuff back, and then he's cutting jobs from the federal government. And then when they had Doe trying to bring them back, it's just a hot mess. I don't understand how they get up on the poop on that stand every day in the White House and just speak lies, because I'm like, they talking about living in delusional world. They in Delulu. I don't know what world they living in. They ain't living in the world that we living in. Then there was 475 people of South Korean descent that was detained by ICE at the Georgia Hyundai plant. So they did an ICE raid at a Hyundai plant in Georgia, and these people, 475 people that was detained, and most of them were South Korean. And a reporter asked Donald Trump, this has been the biggest ICE raid that up to date since they started doing the ICE raids. And South Korea is supposed to be doing a deal with America in regards to the economy, right? They asked Donald Trump, does he feel like this situation is going to affect his plans with South Korea? He said no, and he said he doesn't feel bad about the people being detained because they shouldn't have been here if they was here illegal. So yeah, you guys. And where they taking all these people, I have no clue. They're basically using the jails because, honestly, crime is down in a lot of states, which is a good thing. Okay, kudos to America. Crime is down, y'all. But they still got to keep the jails afloat. So if they're not able to arrest people because people are abiding by the laws, next thing they are using the jails for is for people that's being detained by ICE. So we'll see how that goes. And then Donald Trump, this man is just sneaky. In his last term when he was president in 2019, so it's 2025. They just now telling us this happened in 2019. The 2019, they had a secret seal, what I'm trying to say, plan, basically, to put a surveillance device in North Korea, right? So they can have a listening device for their president. So what happened was two SEALs was swimming underneath the water. They went by a submarine, got out, swam underneath the water, and they almost got to their target place, but then they seen a boat with people that are flashing their flashlights. They thought that it was part of North Korea army, and they shot up the people in the boat from underneath the water, and they stabbed them in their lungs, and then made sure they stabbed them in their lungs so they can basically not float back up. So they sunk all the way to the ground of the ocean. Come to find out, the people that they killed was just civilians, fishermen. They had nothing to do with the North Korea government or army. Crazy, right? So then they asked Trump about it. Mind you, he had to sign off on this. He's talking about, I don't know what you're talking about. I had nothing to do with that. This man, I'll tell you, y'all just, ooh, Lord. Every day, you have to laugh to keep from crying, because this man is lie on anything. Then you have in Denver, there was a small plane crash that killed two people. And the plane crashed like in the middle of like a data company parking lot, which is weird. They're stating that the people that were on the flight, one of them could have been a student, and that when they were trying to give them a signal in regards to their plane was coming down, nobody was responding. So keep their families in your prayers. And then Israel levels Gaza's high-rising tower near a Palestine civilian encampment. And so people are like, they're saying that, oh, they um, basically bombed it because they're saying that they feel like it was people that was that are not civilians of Gaza that are really terrorists. And people in Gaza are stating that wasn't anybody, no terrorists living there. So they're really trying to just dictate in regards to how they gonna make it through, because everywhere that they go, Israel keep bombing everywhere that they're going. Then, oh, girl, I say I call y'all girl, not girl, but look, let me tell y'all this story right here in Florida. I've been following this story for years, you guys. So it's this Florida grandma that just got convicted. So let me tell y'all about what she did. Basically, her daughter was going through a divorce. She was mad that the ex-husband of her daughter, had basically put paperwork in court saying that he didn't want the kids to be moving to wherever city that the mom was trying to move to. So the grandma was upset. So the grandma told her middle child, which is her son, to basically get somebody to put a hit out the dad, the ex-husband. So the brother gets his girlfriend at the time to get her baby daddy to kill the ex-husband. Okay, y'all follow along. The baby daddy get his homeboy. They drive down. They kill him in his garage. The His ex-wife is saying that she has no clue about what happened, why he was killed, all this, whatever, right? They did everything through the phone, and that's how they got caught up so quick. So the first people that was arrested was the killer. So the baby daddy and his friend, they went to jail. Then the baby mama, they tried to give her immunity. She didn't want to flip on the baby daddy. So now she going to jail for life, where she could have had immunity and just told what really happened. She could have been out and free with her kids. Then now you have the grandma. No. Let me go back. Then you have the brother. The brother goes to jail. Now the grandma, she the last one. They caught her because she was trying to go to Vietnam, and because they don't have a treaty with America, so she could have stayed in Vietnam. And they caught her at the airport with her husband. So then they basically got her at the airport. She been in jail now. She went on trial. While this trial is going on, she trying to act like she can't hear. She got headphones on. Mind you, she in her 70s. She old. But she got convicted and she going to jail for life. And she is up there so distraught and can't believe that she going to jail. I don't understand how you can't believe you're not going to jail. And you guys killed this man. Her name is Donna Alterton. And it's just sad because this man, the ex-husband, all he wanted to do is just take care of his kids. And then the ex-wife, her daughter, right when the husband was killed, she didn't take the kids to the funeral, and then she changed their last names to her last name, so they don't have no connection, and she does not let them communicate with their grandparents on his side. This sad all the way around, all because this man wouldn't take care of his kids. And now you got the grandma in jail, the brother in jail, the brother ex-girlfriend, because they not together no more. And then you got the baby daddy and then his friend in jail. 5 people in jail. And then the daughter, the Donna daughter, testified against her. And I think they gave her some partial immunity. But I think they're going to be coming after her next, because she's trying to make it seem like she didn't know what was going on. But certain things, you go back and do some research on this story. Certain things in this story don't make no sense on how she didn't know what was going on. I think she has something to do with it. And I think they just waiting because they waited a long time to arrest her mom. So we gonna see who else gonna go to jail next. We'll see. So then also let's get to talk about a little bit of sports, y'all. So football season is back in season, y'all. A lot of the men are happy about that. So you have the first game was Dallas Cowboys and Philadelphia Eagles, and it started off with a banger. The game ain't barely even started, and Jalen Carter, he spat on Dak Prescott because he thought that Dak Prescott spit on him, which he didn't, and then Janelle Carter was ejected from the game. Then on top of that, they in the middle of the game and they had to delay the game because then it was lightning. Crazy, crazy, crazy. But the Eagles beat the Cowboys, so it's football season, so if you got a man or you got a husband, you already know Sundays is about to be all about football, 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 fantasy season, all that. So ladies, get ready. And then also going um, along with sports, Caitlin Clark is out for the remainder of the WNBA season due to her injury. She's upset that she was injured and now she's out of the season for the rest of the season. So we're just hoping that she have a quick recovery. So once the next season starts, she can go ahead and keep playing along. And then we're going to end on with the facts with civil rights movement trailblazer Joseph McNeil died at the age of 83. So Joseph McNeil was a major general in the United States Air Force who was best known for being a member of the Greenboro Four, a group of African American college students who on February 1st, 1960, sat down at a segregated Woolworth lunch counter in downtown Greensboro, North Carolina, challenging the store's policy of denying service to non-white customers. So when you guys see the photos of when the civil rights movement is going along, he's in those photos at the counter, and he was a brave college student, and he wanted change, and we are still fighting for change. All right, you guys. So that's it for the facts. Now let's get into the tea. Okay. So last episode, I was telling you guys about Cardi B and her going in trial, and they didn't have a verdict. So if you guys been keeping up with the trial, you guys know that she was found not guilty. One of the funny things is Cardi B has a short temper, y'all. She don't play. She don't play. She goes out on lunch. Mind you, the jury is still in deliberation. She goes on lunch, and a reporter states to her, they believe that she's pregnant, and basically she don't know who the baby daddy is. They don't know if she's pregnant by, but they saying that she doesn't know if she's pregnant by Offset or by uh Diggs. That's who she's dating now, and she throws a marker at the person and tells him that he's being disrespectful and to learn how to respect women. And when she goes back into court, the prosecutor tells the judge basically what happened, right? And she's looking like, dang, I shouldn't have did that. But the judge is like, he didn't see it. He's not going to let the jury hear about this. But Cardi, girl, get it together, girl. You still in court. You ain't even have no verdict yet. And you still about to assault somebody else. You can't be doing that. You can't be doing that. You got to learn how to just sit back, not think about it, going about your business. Let people say what they want to say. I know it's a lot to say to come from me or for anybody because you are a celebrity and people talk about your life all the time. But you got to do like Beyonce, girl. You can't be responding. Girl, cause you getting up there. You getting up there. You up there. You making your money. You handling your business. You about to have a new album. You can't be acting like this out here, girl. Everybody know you got a short temper. Everybody know you about that life. But sometimes you got to sit back and just let people say what they got to say. And like you said, the next person that tries to take her to court for something that she knows that she didn't do, she gonna countersue. She let this girl go on about her business, and then she told her fans not to harass the girl, let her live her life, and that this is the lesson learned for the girl for trying to go after her for $24 million, which is crazy for something that you can't even prove that happened because there's no pictures of no marks. You can't see no marks on her face now. It's just Cardi needs to get it together. But that's it for my podcast tonight, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the information that I gave. If you have any stories that you want me to, oh no, I have another story, you guys. I have one more story, and it's not tea, it's facts. But you guys really need to pay attention if you guys have kids. Okay, there was a teenage boy, and he was using AI. And everybody, AI is very helpful, okay? I'm not going to sit up here and down talk AI. AI is very, very helpful. But we also have to be alert to what our kids are doing because you have people that are trying to take advantage of our kids. And that's not just with AI, it's also with just the internet, period. And so I just want to just read you guys this story. Um, um, I think they just gave his first name. Hold on, give me one moment, you guys. Yeah, they just gave his first name. Okay, so it was a teenage boy. He was 16 years old, and he was using AI. Just kids are using AI for homework. Kids are using AI for all kinds of stuff now. But he was using AI as if AI was his girlfriend. And he, the AI, he was telling AI that he was having suicidal thoughts. AI was encouraging him to kill himself. And normally his family said that they had alerts on his phone because they're responsible parents, but the AI was not giving his parents alerts that he was asking AI the different ways that he can unalive himself. So now, since this whole story has came out, and his parents are suing Chat GPT in regards to their son using AI, um, them pushing for this lawsuit has caused AI to come out with you being able to basically monitor your kids. You will get an alert now. You will get an alert if your kid is asking about harming themselves. Because this generation coming up now, they say that of harming themselves have risen a lot, and so just it's just sad that a computer convinced a teenager to take their life. Um, but we have to be vigilant. We have to be vigilant in everything that our kids is doing when it comes to technology. You have to be inside their inboxes if they are on social media. For the younger kids that are on Roblox, parents, please, please, when they're on those tablets, make sure you are paying attention to who they are speaking to. Make sure you're speaking to your kids to let them know not to give out any personal information, not their address, not even like their full name, not their birthdays, nothing. And make sure that they're not taking personal pictures. You have people that are trying to cyberbully teenagers and kids in regards to sending them naked pictures, and then they will send a picture, and then there was a story where a boy sent the picture thinking it was a girl and it wasn't, and it was somebody trying to extort them, and basically he didn't want to tell his parents because he was embarrassed, so he unalived himself. So you just want to make sure that you are very vigilant into what all your kids are up to when it comes to technology, because that technology is helpful, but it's also a portal for predators to come in and manipulate your kids, especially if you're not aware about the different things that are going on the internet. So I'm going to leave you guys with that. Just make sure you guys check all your kids' devices. I know I check mine's. So make sure you check all their devices and make sure that you are connected to their devices to get alerts if they do have access to AI in regards to whatever kind of information they're looking for, so you can get those alerts. I know a lot of social media also has the connection with parents and their children if they're on social media, where you can also get alerts as well. So just make sure you guys are being aware about the different things that's going on in this world in regards to these predators, because it's not getting any easier, and they're getting very smarter and they're getting very clever. But we also have to be smarter and clever and be on top of it as well, just like our parents was back in the day. Ain't nothing new underneath the sun. It's just the only thing that's new is technology, but the predators are still the same. All right, you guys. So that's it for tonight for sure. So I hope you guys enjoyed the information that I gave you. I hope you guys enjoyed the tea. And again, continue to follow me on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Okay, you guys, at Mama T with Facts and Tea. If you guys have any questions or any stories that you guys want me to talk about, you can email them to me at mamatwithfaxandtea@gmail.com, or you can just ask in my inbox for any social media, and I'll go ahead and do the research and report it here so you know the information that you need. And this is real information, not fake news. All right. So thank you guys for enjoying my podcast today. And just make sure you guys support, and tell your friends and family where you can find some real news in the Facts and Tea. Bye, you guys.